Hi, this is Alexandra at Beadaholique, here to show you how to make a bracelet with braided cork cord and gemstone chain. So you'll see here I have some components I'm going to be putting together. I've got 6mm braided cork cord in a beautiful green color. I've got some TierraCast findings, including a toggle, cord ends, a bead cap, a couple different sizes of jump rings in the oval open shape. I've got 4x6mm here and also a 3x4mm here, and some gemstone chain. This is green onyx. I'm also going to be using some 22 gauge wire, and for tools I have a couple pairs of chain nose pliers in the bent and the flat. I've got round nose pliers, and to cut the cork cord I used flush cutters, and that was also for the gemstone chain. And for gluing our cord ends I've got the E6000 glue. So, as you can see, I've taken some of the guesswork out of the sizing here by pre-cutting some of my supplies. And so I'll be talking a little bit about that. And I'm going to lay out my lengths of chain here and get my supplies ready for assembly. So there we go. Now the first thing we're going to do is take our braided cork cord, which I have cut at 3 1/4 inches, and I'm taking into account that 1/4 inch is going to be sucked up on either end by going into these cord ends. So you'll want to take that into account when you're measuring. And I'm going to bring in my E6000 glue and get some of this glue into the well of those caps. And we'll do this first so that the glue can be drying a little bit while we're doing the other parts of our assembly. So I'm just going to take my toothpick, get a bit of that glue and tuck it down in there. Wipe that into the well. And this is a nice tight fit. This cork cord really going to stick well in there once I get it situated. Just screw that in a little bit. There we go. Nice and firm. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Take up my glue into that cap. This is a 6mm cap to fit the 6mm cord, obviously. Get all that glue in there and press it in, just like so. All right, so we'll let that glue dry a little bit while we're putting together our other components. So you'll see here that I've got my pre-cut lengths of gemstone chain, and onto each of the ends of the chain I have these little 3x4mm oval jump rings, and I will explain why those are on there once we get to that phase, but I put them on ahead of time because it can just be a little tedious watching the opening and closing of tiny jump rings. So I have most of them on. I will put on one just to demonstrate. So I'm going to bring in my pliers, my bent chain nose, and I'm going to slide on the end link on one side of my chain length and just close that up on the other side. There we go. All right, so the first connection we're going to make is onto our toggle clasp, and you'll see that this toggle has 3 holes down here, which make for some very creative options for design. So we're going to utilize those by taking up our 4x6mm oval jump rings. Get that apart there. And onto each of these I'm going to slide the end link of 2 chains opposite my other little mini jump ring. So the links of the gemstones are going on there. And once I have 2 of them on, I'm going to latch on one of the holes of the toggle and close that up. The oval jump rings do a nice job of just streamlining the design and making it a little more uniform down the line. So I'll do that again here. Take up 2 more lengths of chain And these supplies, the chain and the cork, are sold here at Beadaholique by the inch. So you'll want to be sure and get at least an extra inch or two of each of your supplies to make sure that you can adjust the length to your desired size. All right, got those on. Get my other oval jump ring here and finish this up. So each of these chain links, I'm not sure if I mentioned, are 2 1/4 inch in length, which is about 7 links, I think, 7 stones. Whoops, pick that up again. The little jump ring has gotten stuck. Sorry about that. There we go. Try this again. Get a firm grip and slide it on there. Okay. Get that nice and tight. So we have assembled thus far. Now our next phase is going to be bringing these little jump rings together into the bead cap. And to do that, I'm going to take 2 inches, approximately 2 inches here, of the 22 gauge wire. Cut that with my flush cutters. And I'm going to create a wrapped wire loop by gripping about 1/3 of the way down. Create my 90-degree angle, rotate my plier, come up and over that round prong. And before I close it, I'm going to slide on each of my jump rings here. And what these jump rings are going to do at the end of my gemstone links is help to taper the chains into the cap in a way that I was having trouble doing otherwise. They were sort of bunching in a funny way. And so by creating a little more of a taper, they end up nice and flush in there. All right, so I've got my chains attached on that wrapped wire loop, and I'm going to close it up by coiling the wire closed. Come around a couple times there and clip the extra. Now I'm going to feed the wire up through the wide end of my cap, and that comes down real nice over the ends of my chains. So from the top here, I'm going to create another wrapped wire loop by gripping with my round nose pliers, angling off at 90 degrees, rotating, and creating my loop. And on this side, I'm going to attach, oh, you know what? That's not the right connection. Let me visualize here. We're going to attach it on here, and I'm going to hold this a little carefully because it's still drying, but it is a nice firm fit there. Okay, so I've got that onto the proper loop in the order of my design, and I'm gripping flat onto my wrapped wire loop and coiling shut. Use my plier to get a nice tight coil there. Clip the extra. There we have that. So the last part is just to attach the bar of our toggle. I like to use my flat nose pliers for these jump rings. So I'm going to slide the jump ring onto the loop of my cap. And I'm also going to take on the loop of my toggle bar and close that up. I opened it pretty wide because the width of each loop adds up in terms of space. So close that up. Get a nice flush connection there. There we are. All right, so this bracelet design combines some unexpected elements. First, the 3 holes on the toggle, then the cluster of gemstone chain that complements this braided cork cord, and depending on the sizing, this one happens to be slightly small for me, but you can fit it larger to either feature the gemstone chain on the top or the cork. I kind of like how it fits with the cork coming around the side of the wrist myself. So that's the Spruce toggle bracelet, and all of these tools and supplies are available at Beadaholique.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.